Welcome to Love Island, the morning after, the only official Love Island podcast.
I'm Indiyah Polack, and this morning we are joined by the lovely Amy Hart and Broadcaster Nadia Jae, who's going to be with us all week. But guys, we have a very special guest this morning. Please welcome dumped Islander Patsy.
Hey.
Hello. Good morning, Patsy.
Good morning. This morning, we're going to discuss all the important issues that came up in last night's episode. Will Uma and Will get married by the pool? How do we say goodbye to Samantha? And how do you like your pancakes?
It's going to get emotional. So all together, let's get our hands. Ooh. And on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Remember why we're boss bitches!
Yes, we are.
Honestly, I think everyone needs to note that down because I think we all need to check ourselves and make sure, you know what, I'm that girl.
Yeah.
It's very important to know. And shout out to Jess because it was a sound piece of advice.
Yeah, it was.
No. But talking of that gal, we've got Patsy with us this morning. She is that gal. How are you? How are you feeling? Do you feel your exit was too premature?
Yeah, no, I'm good. I think like a week to reflect on it has been good. And I've got FOMO already. I do want to go back. Yeah. I don't think a connection was in there for me. And I don't know if it ever was going to happen for me. So it was a bit premature, yes. I had a lot more to give, a lot more personality, a lot more drama to bring. Yeah. But hey.
Yeah, I miss that.
Yeah, I know, so do I.
Yeah.
What would you say is your favourite moment from when you were in the villa?
Harriet kept falling over. It was so
Really?
funny.
Yeah.
She would, you know that little strut she does?
Yeah.
Yeah, she would like put her wedges on during the day and go, should we just pretend we're at O Beach? And then she would just fall over. So Harriet, isn't it? So Harriet, yeah.
Were you all wearing makeup in the daytime this time?
Yeah, we'd put a little bit on, you know, like a fresh face.
Yeah,
but
like
a little bit of do your eyebrows, do a bit of lip liner and stuff. Yeah.
We never did you?
You know what, some of the girls did, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I think I did it for like the first 10. I thought, you know what? You better love me, whatever I decide to do, because I just wanted to save it for the night.
Yeah,
and also, even though I'm Caribbean, I should enjoy it, I hate the sun.
Oh, really?
I can't stand it.
my favourite
because
thing.
I love the hot countries, but I think the villa, because of where it's situated, it's direct.
Yeah.
So you would always see me in the den because like sitting in the sun, like it's just so uncomfortable for me. Like,
it was a sun trap as well. It really got hot in the garden.
Everyone would be sun tanning. I'd do it for about 5 minutes. I'm like, oh, I can't breathe. That head with makeup was just too much for me.
Yeah, just a blush, but eyebrows.
Yeah, no,
I still can't believe Harriet's falling over all the time. Sorry, I'm still there.
Quite hilarious because obviously, like, we're the viewers, so watching, we've all seen Harriet's walk.
Yeah.
So now you put in the fact that she actually used to fall over a lot. It's actually just quite funny.
And then when you're all sitting around the fire pit and we're just kind of waiting for a little bit, she'd be like, I need the toilet. And then she'd do the strut. So I thought,
Oh, bless
I
her.
say that even to
You can never make me hate Harriet.
No,
honestly.
absolutely not.
No way.
No
I'm glad
way.
everyone's liking it now. It's
Yeah.
great, yeah.
Samantha, you're now single and therefore have been dumped from the island. Please pack your bags and say your goodbyes.
So last night, Samantha did go home. How do you feel about that, Patsy?
Yeah, I'm really sad to see her go. I don't think she deserved that. I think she had so much more to give. Walking in on day one, she was the biggest character. So it's like she would kind of be the, I don't know, just the presence of the villa. So I'm really shocked that she's left so soon. I can't wait to see her though. So that'd be amazing. Yeah, I can't wait to go for a drink with her. So, you know, the whole Joey thing, she didn't deserve that. She just picked someone too early and it's just done her over a little bit.
I mean, technically, he picked her.
That's
because
true.
she was with Sam.
That's true.
That is true.
Literally, she's minding your business on the top
totally
of a
forgot
apple
about
tree.
that.
You get picked by a guy and, you know, like she's gone home. You lot know how upset I was.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think Samantha, boss bitch energy for real.
Yeah.
I'm actually wondering what the dynamics are going to be like with the girls in the villa. Because I feel like Nicole's got to like stand up now. We're going to need someone to like kind of run things. Or maybe just Jess actually.
Yeah.
She can get a pen and paper out.
Oh, she is a manager.
Yeah.
Everyone speaks to the manager.
Someone needs to have a word.
Yeah. I mean, speaking about the dynamics, what is the dynamics like with the girls in there? Is everyone like friends? What's it like?
Yeah, I think obviously you don't see it all, but everyone is friends. And even when there was a little bit of beef going on, like Jess, Harriet, 5 minutes later they go, someone say, oh, can you do my hair? And they'd be like, yeah, fine. So it was really good. There was a natural divide. I think that Nicole, Samantha and Jess spent more time together, and then me, Mimii and Harriet spent more time together. Yeah. But literally you could walk over to any of the girls and feel comfortable.
Yeah.
So,
Who was like closest to you, do you reckon?
Mimii and Harriet, yeah. I just formed a bond with Mimii on day one. one. And Harriet was kind of late entry to that. I think Harriet was just doing her own thing, really. She's in her own little world.
She's trying to get up from falling down.
Yeah. And then I think she had more of a natural reception with us rather than, because obviously she had that thing going on with Ronnie and Jess, so she kind of gravitated more towards us.
Yeah. Obviously you were quite close with Mimii. Yeah. Obviously you probably got first-hand seeing her relationship with Ayo.
Everything.
Do you think they're like endgame?
I think that they will be now.
Yeah.
There was, obviously a lot of back and forth with him and Uma, and it was hard to watch. And I kind of was very vocal in being like, you know, actually both girls need to know what's going on, so this needs to be said. Mimii is so lovely and she just deserves a really nice guy. And hopefully I will pull through and be that guy for her. I think he's got potential too. And maybe he's sorting his stuff out now and he's going to do it for her.
What about Nicole and Kieran? We haven't really seen much of them this week because they're just so happy.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need to see them. Yeah. What are your views on them? Do you think their heads might turn at Casa?
Okay, I think I can't see Nicole's head turning actually because the perfect guy that she described to walk in was there on day one. Yeah. She wanted her Welsh rugby player to live in the valleys and he's smitten with her as well. So I don't think her head will turn unless a Welsher, more rugbyer guy walks in, maybe with a little few inches on the height. But yeah, no, I think she's solid. I think what will happen in Casa is that he might get tempted. You know when someone does something silly, but it's forgivable? Yeah. I think there's potential for that to happen and she will forgive him and they'll be fine. But maybe like a silly snog or something, or I don't know. I think they'll be fine.
In week one, things really heated up in the villa. Let's look back at all the pre-love fashion moments brought to you by our headline sponsor, eBay. Joey Essex made a grand entrance, stealing kisses and hearts from 3 of the girls while wearing a stylish Police cos jacket. Mimii looked stunning in her House of CB dress and fell head over heels for Ayo in his Harley-Davidson sleeveless tee, whilst Jess stunned in I Am Gia and a Juna Watanabe Comme des Garçons. And how can we not mention the iconic Red Party? All the Islanders looked incredible in their pre-love fits, with Patsy rocking a red latex dress worn by Georgia Steele in All Stars and Ronnie sporting a red Represent varsity jacket. The Islanders are definitely bringing the red hot heat. Check out eBay for villa-inspired fashion and celebrate a summer of pre-loved style. Fashion fit for a second chance. eBay, sponsors of Love Island. We're looking forward to hearing your views on everything from the episode. Yes. So let's dive straight into it.
Let's go.
Let's start with Joey and Grace, everyone's favourite couple. Well, not Samantha's. But
I mean, I don't know. Do we feel like maybe Grace holds the cards in this couple? Because from what we've seen, Joey is really into this situation. What do you think?
I think that Joey is so smitten to the point of like no return. Like he cannot keep his hands off of her.
Yeah.
Whereas Grace feels a bit more like, all right, Joey, all right, well, we can do this. He's like running around like, she can't sleep on the single bed by herself and she can't do this. Like, he's running around like
she's
something.
She's cool with it, isn't
she? She's cool. Like, and I think the fact that he can't control himself, like seeing him with Samantha and then seeing him with Grace and seeing how tactile and how affectionate and how emotional he is. I'm like, I'm sorry, is this the same person?
Tough watch.
100%. So yeah, I think I'm going to put it out there. Okay. If another guy gets into the villa that Grace finds attractive, Joey could be in trouble.
Yeah.
I just think that dynamic works. My mum and dad have always said to me, let the man love you more.
Yeah, I was
that is vibes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But in this situation, I'm just like, Joey, be careful because she's had you already.
Yeah.
And this is nice because you're both in the villa.
Yeah.
However, it might not be like this for the whole duration.
And do you think that Joey's so used to someone being obsessed with him and then this must be just so weird that he's found someone that he's more obsessed with and like you say, he's not coming back from that.
Yeah.
He's dived straight in and he's underwater.
Yeah, I think so. He's actually made it quite clear. Even when we saw his little conversation with Samantha, he didn't really want anyone in that villa to see him as Joey Essex. He wanted to be Joey. And I feel like what we can see with him and Grace, it is just Joey and Grace. And he probably does appreciate that. What I wanted to ask you guys, do we think maybe how Joey has treated this whole situation with Samantha is a little bit, I'd say, like insensitive?
Yeah.
Because we saw him say things to Samantha like, oh, you know, if you need someone to talk to, you can talk to me. But then in the same breath,
I don't want to talk to you.
You know?
Like, I've got friends. You're the cure and the cause here. Like, I don't want to speak to you about how I feel about you when you were the one that made me feel this way about you.
I was going to say, what's she going to say? Like, yeah, there was this guy, I was seeing him and he just really upset me. And he's going to be like, yeah, sounds like an absolute idiot.
Yeah.
Also, I don't think he's used to being the bad guy. I'm noticing, like, he doesn't really know what to do with himself. Like, he's kind of like, oh, well, talk to me. It's like, no, babe, like, just take a moment and realise that actually I'm upset in this moment. It's because of you. Yeah. It's like he can't see past that, and I think he's just trying to band-aid it a little bit. Yeah. Like, sorry, I hurt you. I'm going to take this bottle, but here you go. Like, if you want it though, you can ask it back. Yeah. No, babe, you've taken it.
I think he's used to being, because he's like the cheeky chaffy. He probably thinks he can get away with everything with that smile. And he's realised that he actually can't.
Yeah, you'd hope that he would be able to get away with it. But don't you think, though, it's a little bit, he's damned if he does, he's damned if he don't? Because what if he doesn't make effort? Everyone's going to say, why is he not making effort with Samantha? And then if he does, it's like, no, leave her alone, like, read the room.
I don't agree on that, because he was like, oh yeah, I've been trying to speak to her all day. No,
you haven't.
You haven't. And then chose like the opportune time to come up, and she was like, not now. And he was like, okay, well, I tried.
Yeah, that's
tried.
Yes.
Like, I literally opened the door and she told me to go away, so I tried. Yeah. And then again, like, she's trying to say goodbye to all her friends and he's trying to take her away. Yeah. Like, he's choosing the most unopportune moments so that then he can, like, said I would speak to her. Tick. Done what I could do.
It kind of reminds me of, you know, when you were saying the other morning, like, you know, when you're in a situation with a guy and he wants to cut it off, but he doesn't know how to. So then he starts looking for things that you're doing. So, like, behaving badly, really. So then you can actually dump him.
Yeah.
So it kind of gives us what, like, Joey's doing. That's it feels like he's trying to, like, not be the best person. So Samantha can turn around and be like, you know what, I don't want anything to do with you.
Yeah. I do feel a bit bad for Grace, though, because I think she's damned if she does, damned if she doesn't.
I would say because she's the other woman, but also she can't really help if Joey fancies her or if they have a connection. She's coming for love also, do you know what I mean? And if Joey's going to be like, we've seen him, literal lapdog around her. What's she going to do about it?
She said, I didn't know that you were crying. So when her and Sam had a chat in the villa, Sam was like, it was disrespectful that you guys were kissing and I was crying an hour before. And she was like, oh, I didn't know you were crying.
Yeah.
So there's so many bits of communication that's been missed. So I think even for Grace, she's thinking, oh, it's not that deep. Like, I'm sure Joey's has been like, no, we didn't kiss, we didn't do too much, blah, 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 blah. But for Samantha, it's complete opposite, because you've got Joey saying, oh, I'll be there for you and this, that and the other. And it's just a bit of miscomms everywhere.
And that really can happen in there. Like, you don't see everything. So as the viewers watching it, you think, oh my God, that's so unfair. But the person might be in there thinking, well, I didn't know that. So that definitely can happen.
Yeah. And I think it's hard for Grace as well. Like, she's not been there long. Obviously, all the other girls, they've got really strong friendships with Samantha. So they're seeing like one of their good mates go. And now, naturally, Grace is going to be like, God, if I wasn't here, none of this would have happened.
I will say, though, I didn't like when Grace said, oh, but it was just a small kiss.
Oh, girl. We saw the kiss.
That was 2 minutes long.
There was tongues. It was, you know,
there was an ad break halfway through it. It came back and they were still snogging.
And the kisses in the villa, we've got Ayo and Mimii. That was top one. And then I think coming up second place, absolutely Grace and Joey.
Their snogs got more airtime than Mambir.
It was a lot of snogs, but also that just triggered my mind when you mentioned Mimii. We had Grace sort of obviously saying, oh, it wasn't really that big of a deal, it wasn't a kiss, but it's like Mimii was also in that situation when Ayo brought her to the terrace and Umar was down there and she was like, no, I feel bad, because she didn't want to kiss in front of Umar because that would have been disrespectful. I feel like Grace was a little bit acting oblivious. Like, you know, it would have been disrespectful. You know, it was a lips. You could have said, let's not do it right now. Let's do it in private, or let it blow over a little bit before we get into it. So I think that was her being a little bit like, come on. Like,
it's silly from her as well, because she knows how close all the girls are to Samantha. And you'd want the girls to like you. So she kind of should have took some time to think about what she was doing. But then when you go in somewhere, we all know what it's like to really like a guy. She must feel most comfortable with Joey and just wanted to go full steam ahead.
I think people don't bear a grudge in there.
They should.
Nobody bears a grudge like me, except I then am a people pleaser, so I can't actually do it like to their face. So I'm still friends with these people like 10 years later, but I'm still really angry inside. But it's hurtful, I think, when you think you've got all these friends, and then because they all live together and they have to be polite to everyone. So Samantha will probably come home in a couple of episodes' time, all her friends will be being really nice to Grace and stuff. And you sit there and you're like, what?
Yeah.
No, you're my friend. You can't help but be nice.
I'll distract her, don't worry. I'll be like, don't watch it.
I'm not gonna watch. Grace and Joey obviously getting on very, very well. Samantha said they found love. Why don't they just go home?
Hear, hear. Retweet.
You know, it is what it is. At the end of the day, you are there to find love, and it looks like they found it. Like Samantha said, you cannot compete, well, it is hard to, with someone that has history. And it's not like Joey and Grace have like done and dusted history. It's very much they're picking up from where they left off and they're having the time of their lives.
Of course they are.
They are bed blocking.
Yeah.
They are bed blocking single people.
They are.
Yeah.
I do think though, if there is someone that comes in for Grace, that could be absolutely like the worst thing for Joey because he hasn't got any other connections in there.
And he's not been rattled. He's actually been sailing smooth. Like everyone's been, you know, oh my God, Joey Essex, he's had Sam all over him. Like, you know, it's been very smooth sailings from him. And now he's had the luxury, I must say, of having an old flame come back in and it's going smooth.
Or plot twist, he gets upset because Samantha's left and now he doesn't have the same experience anymore.
Oh, come on.
Well, the only reason I say that is because obviously he's been sat there at the fire pit like this.
Yeah.
I'm actually not sure if his conscience will allow him to be okay afterwards.
One nice big sloppy kiss from Grace.
Yeah, do you reckon?
Imagine
he'll be
about-
nice.
after that fire pit scene, he'll be going to get in bed with
Fair.
Grace.
Yeah.
Fair.
But in the main bedroom, because now they're in a couple, they're not allowed in the hideaway retreat, I don't think, as per the rules.
Oh, they're a couple. Yeah.
You're
That's
not
it.
allowed in there as
So
a
they'll
couple.
have a nice cozy bed anyway.
Like, with everyone else.
That's
watching.
really bamboozled me, actually. If we're not a couple, like when we get to a serious situation and we're like boyfriend and girlfriend, where are we going to go?
If you were in a couple, then just every night Nicole and Kieran would be like, actually, we're going to sleep in the hideaway.
I think somewhere to have a cheat.
They did say Love Island will invite people in there.
I quite like that idea though.
Yeah. I think
It's
it has
giving it a
spiced
lot
it up,
more
hasn't
spice
it?
and drama. It's almost like we were saying, like it gives Meaty Castro more because it's the fear of the unknown.
Yeah.
When someone goes into that hideaway, you have no idea what's going on
you
there.
can't know.
You know it's the hideaway retreat, so you're just going to be like, oh my God, what's happening? What's happening?
Well, when Uma took Ayo in there, we were obviously like all on tenterhooks thinking what's going on, and then we heard a big rumble of laughter from Ayo. We were like, what's funny?
What's funny, I am.
Yeah, so you can hear, but you can't
That's where
see.
Harriet and Ronnie had their first kiss, do you remember?
Yeah.
It was a very, very long kiss.
a lot happens in
Yeah.
that hideaway retreat. Now it's time for the best Sky Mobile me moments. This series has been full of Islanders embracing their me energy, and we've been obsessed. Let's count down the best moments so far where our Islanders have put themselves and their needs first. In third place, we have Jess knowing she's the prize.
2, remember, I am the prize.
Know your worth, you are the prize. And second place goes to Mimii choosing to steal Ayo.
So the boy I've decided to steal is Ayo.
Yes, Mimii. And the current number one moment is Uma and Harriet talking about standing on business.
Like, think about what you want to do. That's what's best for yourself. Because I'm thinking about the way that I've looked at it is what's best for me, you know? And then stand on business.
Cheers to that, Queen.
Cheers to that, baby.
Personally, I'm here for that advice. Sky Mobile is a network that lets you to switch your phone and data plan to suit you. Switch to Sky Mobile today. Speaking of Ronnie, he did say to the boys that he maybe needs to start thinking before he speaks. Is this something that, you know, we can agree with?
We're on week 3 and he's finally acknowledged it. By week 6, he'll start to put it into practice.
Yeah.
I just don't know what the girls... I don't get it. Yeah.
I actually think that Tiffany has a better connection with Sean than Ronnie.
Yeah.
Yeah, when she was saying about, like, we had a really good connection and stuff, I was like, oh, she's going to pick Sean. When her and Ronnie sit and talk, it's like they've put into ChatGPT, like, I want to chat up a girl. Her name is Tiffany. And it says, like, hi, Tiffany, how are you?
Yeah.
Like, what's happening?
Do you think, though, it's a situation where, you know, when you're chatting to someone you really fancy, you really like, you kind of retreat a little bit and go a little bit shy. So she's having those conversations with Ronnie. Then when she's with Sean, she comes out of her shell a little bit because she's like, oh, I'm not really sure, but I can be more funny, I can be more myself. It could be one of those ones.
Well, it's
That does happen.
It does.
It's also nice guy versus rough around the edges guy.
Yeah,
innit?
yeah.
Like, let's be real. I think, do you know what? If I'm honest with myself, majority of guys I've ever spoken to that I don't have much to talk about is because I don't want to talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, true.
Not interested in Ronnie thing.
Yeah.
Well, the sexual connection between Ronnie and all the girls he kisses
Yeah.
is more stronger. So therefore, we don't want to talk, do we?
that's so
The
true.
vibe is already there.
Yeah.
Whereas someone like Sean, I'd love to hear him talk because he's just so sweet.
Oh, he's so
And his chat up lines are so cheesy and cute.
Yeah, but they're very like authentic. It's Sean. Like he's not trying to be anyone else. He's not like he knows he's in a villa full of other guys that are perceived as a bit rough around the edges or like bad boys. And he knows he's not that, but he doesn't try to be that.
Exactly.
He's like, I am sweet shop Sean. I am sweet. I'm a nice boy. That's just how I am.
Sweet shop Sean.
Yeah.
It's supply and demand as well, isn't it? Ronnie is like, he's very popular at the moment. He's hot. He's a limited edition. Like, everyone's on the waiting list. Do you know what I mean? Do we think that people are taking Sean a little bit for granted because they know he's always going to be there to catch them if they fall?
Yeah. One thing I will say though, Ronnie's connecting.
Yeah. He's making
Sean's not so much. Jess is in problems. Harriet is as well. This is why you need to be back in the villa, babe.
I know.
Because the Riz, your chat.
Really?
Yeah. Sometimes I was like,
I'll drop some on you.
Just a little something there. I need that from some of the girls now. I think Harriet, I love her to pieces. But between her and Jess, I'm going to need a bit of I'm going to get that guy. Just a little bit because, they're all...
They are letting him...
Please. Yeah, they're letting him run them ragged a little bit.
I feel like Jess is sort of over it now. I think obviously she told us she was going to do it 85 times, but she's finally said no. She's finally shut it down. Do we think Harriet might lose interest in Ronnie? Think, I've got a good friendship thing with Sean. Let's just have a nice chilled few days with no ag. At the moment, Sean hasn't got anyone coming in for him either. So it's like they're not vulnerable. They can sit back, have a bit of a chill and wait for a bombshell.
Yeah, no, I don't like that, Amy. No, get to it. Not having it, all right?
I've just said a theory. Harriet might sit back and do nothing and be in a friendship couple with Sean. Or realistically, if Harriet goes after a man, she has got a good track record of actually stealing them. What if she goes for Will? Will I think he would like it. I think he would like the sassiness of her. I think she could do that.
I think she will. And I think even if it's not for the sake that she's over Ronnie, I think even little things like Tiffany coming and being honest with her and be like, you know what Ronnie did say to me, if he was to recouple, he would choose me. Personally, that's enough to make me be like, I've had enough. You've done it far too many times with me, Ronnie. And she's such a sweet girl. One thing I love about Harriet, but she just can't help it. She'll tell Ronnie off. And then it'll be like, look, I've told you off. Let's get it out.
Oh,
do you know what I mean? She just wants to be open and honest, get her feelings off her chest, and then pick up where she left off. But I think with Sean picking her as a friendship, and I really did like that conversation they had in the beanbag. And he was like, you know what, you deserve to be picked. Someone deserves to choose you.
If they're not careful, they're going to fall in love by accident. Because he was like, do you see the way she hugged him?
On the yellow
she hugged him like this. And I was like, this is a cute
scene. I feel like that's what all the girls need. Everyone needs to be picked by someone first. You don't want to be a second option. You don't want people to do their rounds and come to you because you're the last one around. And it's like, sorry, if my competition is saying oh, he said he's going to couple up with me if there's a recoupling, it's like, well, all right then, I'm just going to go somewhere else.
But people say that in there, don't they? You can't have that attitude. You really have got to just drop the whole first pick, second pick, third pick. I was always 6 on everyone's list. I thought, right, okay, now I'm going to have to pick myself up and just forget about it. But you do want to be, of course you want to be first or at least second. So I don't know, maybe she'll get over it. I think, I don't know.
I think she handles things very well.
Yeah,
she does get over things.
Yeah,
she does.
And I feel like everyone has a hobby, don't they? And I feel like Harriet's hobby is flirting.
Yeah.
So I feel like if she needs to kill some time in the villa, she will just be like,
flirting.
Will, I haven't given you a go yet.
She knows how to do it. She does actually have her own sort of riz and she's got a good success rate.
Oh, yeah. She
does. It's the finger biting.
Oh.
She does.
And the strut, obviously.
Yeah, that too. You know what, one thing I have noticed, Ronnie and Sean, they are very different. But I have seen some similarities in their chat. So I noticed in last night's episode, we have Ronnie referring to himself as a raspberry.
Oh, yeah.
Cute and hairy. And then we had Sean referring to Tiffany, saying that she looked like a strawberry milk bottle and he just wanted to taste her.
Wow.
So they're very much in the sweets department. And so as this is a breakfast podcast, how do you guys like your pancakes?
I am a classic gal. I'm lemon, sugar and golden syrup.
Yummy.
And my mum always used to make crepes, so rolled up and then have to fold it at the end because if not when you eat it, it all comes out at the end.
Yeah. Mine's a complete opposite. I like stack American pancakes. Okay. Maybe Scotch if I'm feeling lazy.
Yeah.
Toast that, tiny knob of butter. And it's got to be 3.
Yeah, it's very picturesque.
It's very picturesque. This is very on my house account. And then I have cinnamon on top of it.
Yeah.
Then I put the honey and then I put the fruits on top. So it's either strawberries, raspberries, like Ronnie.
Yeah.
You know what you're doing. Okay, I'm going to give people the ick here, I think. So
no,
this
give it to
us.
us.
Not a good one, I think.
You're not
but
cheese
I
and
love
ham
it.
gal, are you?
Cheese and ham, no.
Onions?
No.
Okay.
American pancakes.
Okay.
And I'm going with the eggs and the bacon. I'm
That's
going full on
nice.
American and then syrup all over
Yeah,
it.
that's
A lot
not
of people in there said that they didn't like that. They thought, who has it with bacon?
But I feel like it's just a very American thing,
Yeah,
isn't it? It's
love
not
it.
icky.
My go-to breakfast order at a big fast food chain that I won't name was they do a pancake and sausage meal, which is 3 pancakes and then a bit of sausage.
Oh, I love that.
And one day I realised that my favourite bit was the syrup on the sausage.
babe.
So I used to go up and be like, hi there, please may I have 3 bits of sausage and a pot of pancake syrup, and they'd be like, so you want 3 pancakes? No,
I just want
3 bits of sausage and a pot of pancake syrup. And they'd have to call someone over that had like 3 stars. And then they wouldn't be able to, so they'd have to call over like a white shirt manager. And then they'd finally put it through, and I would literally pay anything between like 50p and £5 because nobody knows how to like put it through.
Well, you're just dipping your sausages in your...
Just when I put it on my fitness pal and saw how much fat was in it, I was like, maybe I shouldn't be having. I'm like, it's healthy. There's no carbs in it. Maybe I shouldn't be having that. Like
that is a go-to. Like that combination from that place
with the full fat Coke.
With the full. Oh no, I get a hot chocolate.
What was yours?
Do you know what? I think I'm a bit of you two. I think I'm either all American with like the syrup and whatnot, or if I want to do a crepe, lemon and sugar. Because sometimes I find like honey, normal like syrup, I find it just a bit too thick and a bit too much. But I'm more of actually a waffle girl. I like an Oreo waffle.
I feel like this chat was more interesting. Than
I mean, who cares about their chat?
People
are interested in Ronnie and Tiffany's chat.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Nadia and Patsy, for joining us. Nadia will be back tomorrow. Patsy, we love you. It's been so lovely having you on the podcast.
Thank you.
And guys, make sure that you're back tomorrow morning and subscribe so you don't miss a single episode.
And next week, we are going to have Samantha on the podcast, so do not miss it. And make sure you tell all your friends that love Love Island, so you don't even have to just discuss the episode with them. You can also discuss the podcast.
Bye, guys.
Bye.